Good morning. Today is the 26th day of September 2016, and we welcome you again to our series, Fine Poetry. Poetry that may not be at the height of the future poetry, but these are poems that touch deeper chords. I believe we have already met the poet Jimmy Santiago Baca, who was, for a time, a lost soul. Imprisoned, on drugs, etc. Came out of it after his release, and while in prison began writing poetry, and now goes to prisons and to ghettos and teaches poems to others. So here we are. He was born in 1952. Jimmy Santiago Baca, Part 2. I am offering this poem. I am offering this poem to you, since I have nothing else to give. Keep it like a warm coat when winter comes to cover you, or like a pair of thick socks the cold cannot bite through. I love you. I have nothing else to give you, so it is a pot full of yellow corn to warm your belly in winter. It is a scarf for your head to wear over your hair, to tie up around your face. I love you. Keep it. Treasure this as you would if you were lost, needing direction. In the wilderness, life becomes when mature. And in the corner of your drawer, tucked away like a cabin or hogan in dense trees, come knocking, and I will answer, give you directions, and let you warm yourself by this fire, rest by this fire, and to make you feel safe. I love you. It is all I have to give, and all anyone needs to live, and to go on living inside when the world outside no longer cares if you live or die. Remember, I love you. A daily joy to be alive. No matter how serene things may be in my life, how well things are going, my body and soul are two cliff peaks from which a dream of who I can be falls, and I must learn to fly again each day or die. Death draws respect and fear from the living. Death offers no false starts. It is not a referee with a pop gun at the starting of a 100-yard dash. I do not live to retrieve or multiply what my father lost or gained. I continually find myself in the ruins of new beginnings, uncoiling the rope of my life to descend ever deeper into unknown abysses, tying my heart into a knot round a tree or boulder, to ensure I have something that will hold me, that will not let me fall. My heart has many thorn-studded slits of flame, springing from the red candle jars. My dreams flicker and twist on the altar of this earth. Light wrestling with darkness. Light radiating into darkness to widen my day blue. And all that is wax melts in the flame. I can see the treetops. Cloudy day. It is windy today. A wall of wind crashes against. Windows clunk against iron frames as wind swings past broken glass and seethes like a frightened cat in empty spaces of the cell block. In the exercise yard, we sat, huddled in our prison jackets, on our haunches against the fence, and the wind carried our words over the fences, while the vigilant guard on the tower held his cap at the sudden gust. I could see the main tower from where I sat, and the wind in my face gave me the feeling I could grasp the tower like a cornstalk and snap it from its roots of rock. The wind plays it like a flute, this hollow shoot of rock, the brim girded with barbed wire, with a guard sitting there also, listening intently to the sounds as clouds cover the sun. I thought of the day I was coming to prison in the back seat of a police car, hands and ankles chained. The policeman pointed. See that big water tank? That big silver one out there sticking up? That's the prison. And here I am. I cannot believe it. Sometimes it is such a dream, where I stand up in the face of the wind, like now. It blows at my jacket, and my eyelids flick a little bit, while I stare, disbelieving. The third day of spring, and 4 years later, I can tell you how a man can endure, how a man can become so cruel, how he can die or become so cold. I can tell you this, I have seen it every day, and still I am strong enough to love you, love myself, and feel good. Even as the earth shakes and trembles, and I have not a thing to my name, I feel as if I have everything. Who understands me but me? They turn the water off, so I live without water. They build walls higher, so I live without treetops. They paint the windows black, so I live without sunshine. They lock my cage, so I live without going anywhere. They take each last tear I have. I live without tears. They take my heart and rip it open. I live without heart. They take my life and crush it, so I live without a future. They say I am beastly and fiendish, so I have no friends. They stop up each hope, so I have no passage out of hell. They give me pain, so I live with pain. They give me hate, so I live with my hate. They have changed me, and I am not the same man. They give me no shower, so I live with my smell. They separate me from my brothers, so I live without brothers. Who understands me when I say this is beautiful? Who understands me when I say I have found other freedoms? I cannot fly or make something appear in my hand. I cannot make the heavens open or the earth tremble. I can live with myself, and I am amazed at myself, my love, my beauty. I am taken by my failures, astounded by my fears. I am stubborn and childish. In the midst of this wreckage of life they incurred, I practice being myself, and I have found parts of myself never dreamed of by me. They were goaded out from under rocks in my heart when the walls were built higher, when the water was turned off and the windows painted black. I followed these signs like an old tracker and followed the tracks deep into myself, followed the blood-spotted path deeper into dangerous regions, and found so many parts of myself. Who taught me water is not everything, and gave me new eyes to see through walls. And when they spoke, sunlight came out of their mouths, and I was laughing at me with them. We laughed like children and made pacts to always be loyal. Who understands me when I say, this is beautiful? To my own self, my hands, the hook thunder hangs its hat on. My breast, the arroyo storms fill with water. My brow, the horizon sunrise fills. My heart, the dawn, weaving blue threads of day. My soul, the song of all life. And lastly, this poem, which is amongst his most famous, humorous, and profound. This day, I feel foolish, like those silly robins jumping on the ditch boughs when I run by them. Those robins do not have the grand style of the red-tailed hawk. No design, no dream, just robins acting stupid. They've never smoked cigarettes, drank whiskey, consumed drugs, as I have. In their mindless fluttering about, filled with nonsense, they tell me how they love the Great Spirit. Scold me not to be self-pitying, to open my life and make this day a bough on a tree, leaning over infinity, where eternity flows forward, and with day the river runs, carrying all that falls in it. Be happy, Jimmy, they chirp. Jimmy, be silly. Make this day a tree, leaning over the river eternity, and fuss about in its branches.